What up, peeps? This is Get With It Sports, place where you get your sports with a little swag. I'm Glass.
I'm Brandon.
The best tag team tandem out here in sports talk. About to get with it on the 2-cent deposit on sports, where we talk about we discuss all the major topics recently in the sports world. As you can tell right now, this is the reason why me and my partner right here get along. You know how in marriage you got your yin, you got your yang, opposite attracts. Hey, don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it.
As you can tell, I'm rocking the White Sox cap. My partner right there rocking the Chicago Cubs cap. We will be talking about that later on in the show. We'll be talking NFL, NBA, little MLB. I think next week we're going to bring one of our baseball professors on. Her name is Jen Rainwater. She's a Oakland Athletics diehard fan, but she got her own stuff and she know her baseball, so I'm gonna bring her on next week as soon as I get in contact with her. But let's go ahead and get started with the topics, starting with something that happened last week, but I just think it's important to bring it up today. Shouts out to my part to Jay Orleans from Love Sports and Hip Hop. He's checking us out right now. I know he got a show about to go on in a little bit. Oh, he gonna say, wait. Check this out, bro. Real quick. Jay gonna sit now. Jay's from New Orleans, right?
Right.
We got in the comment, right?
Yeah.
We're the bad here in NOLA. Dude, he just don't know what we got coming in about 2 days. Right. Man, we got like 7 inches of snow coming this way. So yeah, bro. I'll switch places with you. I'm sure you probably got rain or something over there, but we'll switch places with you.
I don't know. They get a half.
Oh, you said tornadoes. I think we still switch. No. Tornadoes.
We can get them in the city, but they be up here too.
Right. So, all right. Thanks. We're gonna welcome in Token White Kid 11. What a name, bro. But I appreciate you chiming in. But okay, let's go ahead and get started with the first topic at hand. Like I said, it happened last week. Ronda Rousey. You know, she went on the Ellen DeGeneres show last week and was quite emotional, talking about her first MMA loss against Holly Holmes in the UFC. She even said that she had suicidal thoughts right after the fight. And I've heard a lot of people, of course, you know what, just like Cam Newton, if you talk to stuff, you should be able to back it up. But if you can't back it up, you only hear a whole lot of drama from your naysayers. But I've heard a lot of people say she was faking. You know, this is your first light. You talking about suicidal thoughts, and I'm only talking about this because I got family members that's battle depression. They even heard about suicidal thoughts. Now this happened. Number one, I think her dad passed. Her dad committed suicide. I think in '95. It got to be probably earlier than that because she was 8 years old at the time. But her father committed suicide. She'd been battling eating disorders and substance abuse. People got to understand that depression is a disease. You know what I'm saying? Just like alcohol, substance abuse. You know, once you get to that spot, it basically got to stay with you. You got to keep that. You got to get that under control.
Right.
Like I said, her father had committed suicide. She got depression. That's in her life, for life, and she just got to keep that under control. And not to say my wife's was battling depression, but she needed a release. You know, she get all pumped up, and you know she's shooting off from the hip and everything. So about 3 or 4 years ago, our coworker Joe Colvin, not to drop names on the show. You know, he was telling us how his kids was in the MMA training, and you know, I figured that would be a good release for my wife. So she went on here, she tried it out, she loved it. She went on here and got the mouthpiece, got the gloves, got the whole she can't mess up her face, so she got the whole headgear, she got everything. She loves it. She been doing it till this time. So I guess my thing is, Rousey, you know, she was suffering all that. I'm sure somebody told her about MMA to release that aggression that she have in there, or that, you know, something to focus on, to release whatever you got going on inside. So I'm sure she got, you know, somebody told her about it. She checked it out. She loved it. I think she went to the Olympics with judo or taekwondo. She failed. I think she lost that bout, but you know it wasn't hitting her hard. Fast forward to now in the MMA, she's knocking everybody out, undefeated, knocking everybody out in 30 seconds. She got full of herself, you know, can't nobody beat me. Then when somebody beat her, it kind of like snapped her back to that depression. So what everybody seen on Ellen DeGeneres was real. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that she put herself in a position where she could bounce back from that. I know they're trying to schedule her for another MMA fight with Holmes later on. She shouldn't do that until she's ready mentally, because she might get knocked the F out again. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, all I got to say is now to just tell people out there that, you know, what she was talking about when she was on the show was for real. You know, I pray that everything working out well for her and her family and everything, with her primarily. And just like I said, just want to tell everybody that stuff that she showed last week was for real. So you got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I heard about the interview. I didn't see the fight, but I heard about the interview. I saw the knockout, of course. Everybody saw that.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, like you said, it's a disease, man, and it can affect you in more ways than one. But the thing about her now, I don't know if she's married or you got kids or whatever, because it can also affect your family. You know, going through that. You know, and they don't know what to do for you or whatever. You know, you playing you Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know. Right. So that can be tough. And now anybody that said they're going through it or dealing with it, they medicated for it or whatever. No, I take them serious, because one, I don't know a lot about it. Two, I don't know how to treat it. You know, right. They say that's what they're going through. That's what they're going through. And usually you can tell when a person is going through some things. You know, a person is having a bad day, or a person is just having a bad month. You know, so
right.
Yeah, I don't know nobody personally that went through it, but I know people with people or people that have family members that go through it. So yeah, it's a serious issue, and people shouldn't take that lightly at all.
Right. Totally agree. Shouts out to Sooner Gary. I take it you an Oklahoma fan with the name Sooner. Galvin Calvert. Appreciate you checking in, chiming in on our show. He said, yep, cool. We probably talk about your college basketball team later on in the show. It's going to be like an hour show, so we'll try to get to it. But next up on the news ticket tape that we have here is the ex-Cowboy Joseph Randle arrested for the 5th time in 17 months. Sunday morning, Randle, who got cut by the Cowboys in November, was arrested in Kansas. He was charged with battery, drug possession, and criminal damage. It was reported on TMZ, then it was confirmed by Dallas Morning News about the situation. And from what we see right now, Randle was told to exit a party early on Sunday afternoon after an argument. As he backed his car out of the driveway, Randle allegedly hit 3 people, though none of the individuals, 2 men and a female, were harmed. Randle quickly returned to the location of the party and allegedly busted through the front door. Randle was in possession of marijuana, and he remains in jail even to this day with a $100,000 bond, and he hasn't been charged, which is crazy to me. Investigators will proceed with the procedure on Wednesday. Speaking of depression, what's up with Joseph Randle, man? This man, this is second. I think his second offense in a month. This man just, you know what? You remember the wide receiver that used to play for the Detroit Lions about 4 years ago, and his name slips my mind right now, where he was always getting in trouble, and his father was calling for some help because he was suffering with some mental instability. That's what I'm looking at. He was his last. He was a junior, some junior. He was a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions about 4 years ago. He was getting in trouble almost like every other week, man. Yeah, of course, the Lions released him, and I haven't heard anything about him recently. I'm gonna get his name in a minute, but
they pop up.
Yeah, mental people with these mental illnesses, man. People got to take that serious. I just heard recently Um, the guard for Cleveland Cavaliers, Devontae. I had his name.
West.
Devontae West. They caught him within the week walking down the street, no shoes on, hospital gown on. Just wondering, man. You know, we know he was bipolar. I think this is the same situation here with Joseph Randle, man. This man, I mean, when it first started, he was still in underwear. He was still in underwear out the mall, man.
Right, see, ain't no reason he was still in underwear at the mall. Well, that's like, remember the guy that played with the Bears, the big guy. Oh, he was huge.
Not Tank Johnson.
No. This guy, real dark.
Titus Young. There you go. Appreciate that, Sooner Great. Titus Young. Titus Young was the wide receiver for the Lions that was getting in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't remember. He was a lineman for the Bears.
Defensive lineman. Yeah, huge. They called him out. I think he was out in Naperville walking down the middle of the street.
I don't remember that, man.
Underwear. His name too escapes me, but it'll come to me. But yeah, all that's in the same package. All that's in the same package. You know, you never know. But see, you know what? By us not being experts and until they're like diagnosed, you can't tell depression from stupid or crazy. You know. You can't.
Okay. Right.
It's the first inclination that, oh, this is a damn fool. You know.
Right.
His drawers or with underwear on his head, you know, walking down the middle of the street or doing something crazy or whatever.
Right.
You know, so,
okay. Yeah, man. I just thought that was crazy. And we're going to talk about Cowboys later on the show. There's a couple of issues I want to talk about with that. But let's move on to the next sports ticker tape discussion or topic. Tiger Woods. His break might be worse than people thought. On Monday, Robert Lucetich, hopefully I said his name right, reported that that he's having a hard time getting around. Lucetich has been embedded with Woods for years, so anything that he's reporting is or updating is solid. And what we hearing from the camp is not good news on Tiger Woods' health. He tweeted that I'm told Tiger Woods' condition worsened. He can't move well, painful to sit. Sits in car with seat fully reclined. No foreseeable return. # sad. Do you think we just seen the last of Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was all. I mean, you can't go from, you know, the term sugar to shit overnight like that. You can't be great this year and then you can't even find the ball the next tournament or whatever, you know. So I think he's always been hurt. Whatever it was, I know he took time off or whatever. It didn't fix it. I don't know if it was therapy or whatever. But, you know, it could be something that he can't get rid of. You know, it could be degenerative or a disc or whatever. I have no idea. But I think it's serious because a guy like him that was on top of the world playing that sport, you know, he's the king of that sport. I mean, it just don't leave you unless you just physically, for whatever reason, can't do it.
Right. Totally agree. You know what? It's sad to say it, you know, if it is the last that we've seen of Tiger Woods, I'm not gonna cry about it too much for the simple fact he was on top of the golf world. He made his money. Right. You know, I'm sure he could retire, not even worrying about the money. It's just sad that he was, like you say, he just shot up the ranks when he first got into the golf game, stayed up there for a long period of time, and just the fact that a degenerative condition.
How much money he's made golf since he, you know,
exactly. Right.
Man, how many people he even got. I to this day I still don't like golf. I don't, you know, there's still no substance to it for me. But when I look at it, you know, on Sports Center, you know, when he on there, just because he on there, I don't care about nobody else on being on there, whatever. And so I know if he can get me to just to sit there and pause for 5 minutes and look at it. Right. I mean, millions of other people that actually watch it and have started taking it up or whatever, you know. So that's big, you know. He did a lot for that sport.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I agree with everything you just said. When he got into the league, a lot of minorities jumped onto the golf game that wasn't even noticing that. And like you
Right.
said, I'm trying to get into golf. You know, I tried in college, it didn't work. I tried to get back into it because everybody act like it's
Right.
just like crack. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try to get into it. But back to Tiger Woods, I agree. I think it's a degenerative condition because he hasn't ever since that Thanksgiving night when his wife put that club to him, he hasn't been the same since. So I thought it was mental, but I think now, you know, the mental probably gone, but now it's just physical, physical challenge for him. And this, like I said, this ain't the last time this ain't the first time, this ain't the last time we talking about the degenerative condition. Because, you know, just in basketball, like I got in my notes, Brandon Roy, that used to play for the Portland Trail Blazers, his knee gave out on him. Same thing with Andrew Bynum. He used to play for the Lakers, won a championship for the Lakers. And Greg Oden, everybody considered a bust, but I just think his body just didn't want to take the punishment of the NBA rigors. So, yeah, Tiger Woods, just the last we've seen of him, you know, great career in the golf game. And I see that sooner Gary said, I don't think we've seen the last of Tiger, but the last of Tiger being the king of golf. Yes, I totally agree. I don't think he's gonna break Jack Nicholson's record. Like, you know, he was
On pace to
do so. But if he comes back and do something, hey, more power to you, you know. So I want to. Oh, I think Abdullah was here for a second, but he's gone right now. But I want to thank everybody for checking out the show, seeing what we got here when we talk about sports talk. Next up is we're going to stick with the NFL real quick. Cowboys said they are done with defensive end Greg Hardy. He signed a 1-year deal with the Cowboys last March. And in October, they was talking about giving him an extension. Executive Vice President Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, was adamant to give him a contract extension. But then again, all the stuff that, you know, he was saying. Now, this is what I got to say about Greg Hardy. I don't like Greg Hardy. I don't like what he's about. But people, you know how it's like, once you that bad man, anything that come out your mouth is going to be bad. You know, when I remember his first interview as a Cowboy, he said, you know, he going to come out guns blazing. Yes, this is the wrong time to be saying what he's saying. I'm sure he wasn't thinking you just got through beating the case. Well, now I ain't gonna say you beat the case, but you paid your accuser off when you threw on the bed of guns and everything with the domestic violence charge on him. So wrong choice of words, but I didn't go into the dogs after he said it, you know. But I had a problem when he disrespected Tom Brady's wife and Giselle's sister, talking about, you know, he wanted to meet Giselle's sister. So that was a bad look. I know when he said how you gonna stop New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning, he said he gonna hit him in the mouth. He a lineman. What else is he gonna say? You know, bad choice of words, but I didn't put that against him. And you know, he got into a shouting match with Dez Bryant. I didn't take nothing against that, but I did have a problem with him shoving the Cowboys assistant coach on the sidelines that one game. So after everything was said and done, by November, the owner and GM, Jerry Jones, had backed off of his those extensions remarks. In January, the Dallas Morning News reported that a few teammates who had supported Hardy early began to sour on him late in the season, in part because of his tardiness to the team meetings and never resolute to a reduction of playing time. So, what you think about? Do you think Greg Hardy has a chance to come? Number one, I think he outwarmed his welcome with the Cowboys. You think somebody else gonna give him a chance to be on the team? And just 2-part question. You think he gonna change his attitude?
Okay, to answer the latter part of your question, no.
Okay,
he's not gonna change his attitude.
Okay,
he got kicked off a team. He went to, you know, he had his second and third chance. You know, and he ain't changing one bit. You know, I mean, you get a new lease on life. There's something. Okay, well, shit, I can't do this no more. This no more. This no more. You know, he ain't checked off nothing. You know, it's full steam ahead.
Right,
you know?
right.
Do I think somebody else will give him a chance? No. I I thought I was surprised when the Cowboys did, but Jerry Jones, he always outside of the box anyway. He was taking up for this guy and praising him and everything for a minute. Just to justify what he had done by signing him. No, he's a bum. Greg Hardy's a coward. You don't hit your hands on no women. No woman, nothing like that. So that automatically puts you in the coward category, as far as I'm concerned. No, I think he's done. I can't now. While you was talking, I was trying to think what team would sign him. The talent is there. I mean, as far as how long he's been in the league or whatever. So yeah, he still could play the game. He still could, offer something to a team as far as skill wise. But he's poison. So you bring that. That bad apple drop them in the barrel. Guess what? At your third or fourth game, all your apples bad. So right. I think teams and owners they realize that now, as far as these high profile players or whatever, and they just stay away from them because in the end you're gonna come up short anyway. Right. So no, he ain't. I don't think nobody else gonna pick him up, and no, he ain't changing.
Okay, you know what? I thought he might have changed, but I might have to agree with you of him not changing. Him being on another team, listen, if Jerry Jones pick you up and then he let you go, that's damn near your last resort.
Right
there. Jerry Jones will pick up any bad seed and give him a chance. But if once he let you go, your chance in the NFL is short. Now, this is the one team I think his last chance of being in the NFL is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. I can see Chip Kelly trying to put him in. Chip Kelly is known to be, quote unquote, a racist. I can see him bringing up in there to, number one, make his image look better, and number two, help that team defensively if he could control Greg Hardy. And just like you said, Greg Hardy ain't going to change his ways.
Right.
So they're going to have to find some way to do so. Now, this is one thing I can say about Greg Hardy. Every time you get into trouble and every time you get cut and somebody bring you back, that's millions of dollars that you're losing. This man was one of the top defenders in the NFL, making millions of dollars when he was on Carolina.
You ain't worried about that. Can't be.
Right. I know. But, he just, with your attitude and the way you conduct business, any professional sport, any profession, it ain't got to be sport, any profession, you're going to get that. You're going to lose money. Right. Every time you get caught, every time you have attitude, they write notes about that. And next time your contract come up, they're going to say, you know what, we could offer you this, but, we got to check ourselves, make sure we don't put ourselves in a bind whenever you act up. So we're going to offer you this much money. So I believe he lost like tens of millions of dollars with his attitude. And just like you said, if he comes back in the league, I can see teams seeing him as toxic and don't even want to waste their time with him destroying their team,
Right.
So, yeah. Okay, let's get next NFL topic is I was shocked. We're talking about your other team, the New York Jets, just released Antonio Cromartie just after 1 year. Cromartie, who left the Jets for the Arizona Cardinals prior to the 2014 season, came back and signed for a 4-year, $32 million contract last off season. He previously been with the Jets from 2010 to 2013. Cromartie was part of the Jets' big spending spree to give head coach Todd Bowles a piece of the pieces he needed to play an aggressive style of defense that he used to back when he was a defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. The Jets also signed Darrelle Revis, Buster Skrine, and Marcus Gilchrist as part of the overhaul of the defensive backfield. But Cromartie had struggled throughout much of his first season on this 4-year contract. He allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete 42 passes and 790 yards and 7 touchdowns on his side of the field this season, yielding a passer rating of 112. The rating ranked 70th among the 81 corners that played at least 50% of the team snaps this season. 70th. That's not a good look. Given the fact that 32-year-old Cromartie had no more guaranteed money left on his contract, but the Jets could save $8 million against the salary cap next season by releasing him. Of course, it was the writing on the wall. So, with that being said, do you number one? You think number one? I give kudos to Todd Bowles because he's a no nonsense type of guy. He had Cromartie over there in the Cardinals, and I guess he's seeing what he's seen this year. Like, dude, you 32 years old, you lost a step or two. We paying you a lot of money. The checks and balances don't equal out, so we won't have to do what we got to do. No hard feelings, but I got to keep I'm the coach of this team. I got to keep my job. So, what you think about? Do you think Todd Bowles did the right thing too, Antonio Cromartie?
Yeah, I think it was more of a money issue than because you can always use that body. Even if he's not starting, and he's going to get picked up by somebody else. Now they're not going to give him $8 million, but he'll definitely get picked up by somebody else. I don't know. I don't blame them for what they did. I think it's a money issue or whatever, and it's the nature of the sport. It's the business. And that's one thing I do love about the sport. Everybody got to compete. Every year. For a job. I don't care. But like you said, once his guaranteed money is gone, he's a fish out of water. Then, they can do what they want to do. He's just flapping around at there. So they may re-sign him for a lot less. If he just want to stay in that area or stay on that team, he don't want to move around no more. I doubt it. But he'll definitely play again. Yeah, he had a horrible season though. That's very un-Cromartie like, So, I think he's the type of competitor that look at those numbers and the rankings or whatever and, come out, okay, well, let me turn this around. I think he's that type of player that would, strive to turn that around just to prove certain individuals or coaches, whatever, wrong.
Okay. All right, man. See, we talk about every time you tell me you agree with what the NFL do, I got to stop it. We got to talk about this once again. So you like the way the NFL conducts their players' contract, where we can cut you on a whim and they don't have to worry about paying you such and such money, man.
Outside of guaranteed money? Yeah. I want you to compete man, you get these prima donnas that come up in there and they sit back and they watch the rookies and then, talking crazy. Like they ain't got to compete. They ain't got to work hard. Or it's just the first game of training camp. Or it's just, they taking it easy or whatever. Or it's just the third game. They already know they got their spot or whatever. No, I don't like that. No, because that's what make your team bad after a while. But if you got everybody's competing every day for a spot, you're gonna have the best players. You're gonna have the top-notch players on your team because ain't nobody's job guaranteed. So yeah, I like the fact that at the end of the season, they could be your last season here, outside of an injury. Now I'm just cutting you. You bogus. Right. You ain't get it done.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. And there's certain instances I do agree with that. Just like now with Cromartie, you didn't live up to par. We giving you $32 million. You ain't worth the $32 million. Cool. But on the other hand, what if a person like a Russell Wilson, who's making $900,000 his first 3 years in the NFL, played up to par? Don't you think like in year 2, year 3, let's give him an extension or give him more money? Nah, see the NFL owners and each organization is like, we're gonna play with you on your contract, and when your next contract up, we'll give you an extension or give you some money. But my thing is, when I was playing good the first 2 years, why couldn't you give it to me then? That's why. To me, I just don't like. I don't like.
I get what you're saying, but that goes back to the same thing. Like I forgot which players that was. Even like Marshawn Lynch and then whatever. They signed these contracts for hundreds of millions of dollars. You signed a 5-year deal. How you come back to me after 2 years talking about you want to rework your deal?
Because I perform well. I don't know Marshawn's.
Why we got contracts for then? Why we have contracts if you can come back to me? You sign a 3-year deal after the first year. Oh, I want to rework it. Man, I done paid you. We worked this out already. This is already discussed and done. I'm moving on to other things now. I got to deal with you because you don't like the deal that you signed. You signed it now. It was good last year, but because so-and-so on the East Coast got a better deal, now you want to rework your – oh, hell no.
I got that. There's certain individuals I can see that that shouldn't go back to the organization and ask for more money. But more times than not, I just think players get the raw deal. Now
they do.
All right, let me ask you this then. Do you think the special NBA, the Major League Baseball, you think they should implement this type of thinking when it comes to the contracts?
Major League Baseball makes
like,
so much.
You know, like you got your Alex Rodriguez get $200 million. Ain't nowhere near that. Do you think they should say, you know what, we're going to release you and then come back? That type of mentality like they have in football?
If they release, let's just say A-Rod at his peak, when he signed that $275 million, if they had released him, do you think another team would have picked him up?
But that wouldn't have been, that's 200, that's okay. Well, let's say at the time, $175 million I don't have to worry about.
Okay, well,
the Yankees wasn't worth. The Yankees thinking that he's not worth this money, so I don't care if any other team pick you up. We just ain't gonna pay you this money.
That's when contracts are signed for. You may not think look.
Okay.
Little things dealing with the contracts now, man. Look,
I know.
You may not think I'm worth it. When we signed it, you thought I was worth it, you know. So hey, we just got to play it out now, you know. Because when we signed it, I was worth it. Now something happened, circumstances happen, whatever. Now you like, okay, well we got this up and coming outfield or whatever, you know. We can bring him up. Actually, right now his numbers just as good as yours. We ain't paying him nothing, and we paying you $175 million. Well, his numbers just as good as yours right now. Mm-hmm. You know, you gambling as an owner because you already know what I can do. You just seeing what, you know, maybe he having a good 4 weeks, you know, but you already know what I can do because I've been doing it forever. You know, I've been doing it for years. You ain't giving me no $275 million based on my potential. You know, you giving it to me because you've seen my my work. You know, you've seen my brand of work. You know, already. So yeah, I think you know what, man, it's just so hard. This is a topic that's just too hard to get into because the athletes they cheated all across the board, you know, because sports are making so much money now, baseball, football, basketball. It's ridiculous, the money that they are making right now. Right. So, and when they get into it with the owners about money and whatever, now I'm going to always say that the players are right. The players, you know, get the short end of the stick. But as far as these contracts go, it's even like when back in the day, you know, you sign it, okay, you eat it, you own up to it, and then, you know, you wait and see what happened after that. I think that was Richard Sherman, he did, right? Yeah, he did, you know, and he got paid. You know, he was going to get paid. Right. Russell Wilson, you know, they see how Seattle, they ate big off of those guys, you know, for a few years. Right. But when it's time to pay up, reward them for what they've done and what their potential to do will potentially continue to do. You know, so
you know, and Seattle is the perfect example of what you're trying to say is, dude, you don't come back to me the following year after you signed this contract talking about you want more money,
right?
I.e., Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor signed a contract. I guess he felt a certain type of way about Russell Wilson getting his money, Richard Sherman getting his money, everybody getting his money but him. But it's just like you said, you need to argue with your agent for sitting there telling you to sign this contract when he is a premier defensive player in the NFL. So he should have been paid as such, but I blame the agent on that. So there's instances where I could understand what you're saying. And to answer you, I don't think you actually answered the question, but let me just ask you one more time, then we're gonna move on. Do you think the MLB should implement what the NFL is doing when it comes to players' contracts?
No.
Okay.
Keep it like it is.
All right, man. I don't know about you sometime, bro. Anyway, I want to thank
two different sports.
But we're gonna move on. First off, I want to thank Jennifer Quinn, for the host of the Daily Q Show here on Blab. I want to thank you for chiming in and listening to the show, the 2 cent deposit on sports. We're gonna move on because we be talking about this topic forever. All right. Oh, but back to you agree with Cromartie getting released. I totally agree with you. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams, or the team to be known as the Los Angeles Rams. They released Chris Long, Jerry Cook, the tight end, and James Laurinaitis. Hopefully I said his name right. Dude, I know they're trying to clear cap, but those are players. Okay, Chris Long didn't have a great year, but he had a halfway decent year. Jerry Cook, he was still a top 10 tight end. And Laurinaitis, you gonna release him? I think he had like 128 tackles last year. What's up with Jeff Fisher?
Cutting the fat off the meat
before they move to their new home. Clean the house before they move to their new house, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna see some more cuts probably.
I hear you. Hey man, listen, for years, and we're gonna move on to MLB after this. For years, both me and you said that we like the way Jeff Fisher is coaching. Correct?
When he was in Tennessee, yeah.
When he was in Tennessee. Yeah, he was good in Tennessee. But what you think when he's here at the Rams? With the Rams?
Oh, yeah, he was good too. Yeah, he brought that team from extinction. Yeah, especially defensively.
But I noticed when I did some research on another topic, and I think I brought it on to our show earlier, in the middle of last year, he hasn't had a 500 team for 9 years straight. So is he a good coach, or he just blowing smoke about Buzz, making himself look good? Because after I seen that stat, like, dude, you ain't had a winning season in 9 years, and he has some talent on his team. He has some talent now on his team. So is he like talking good game, or can he really coach?
That's a good question.
Right, 9 years with under 500. That's not a good look. And there has been coaches who have been fired here in the Chi. We both know Lovie Smith got fired with a 10-6 record.
Right.
Lovie Smith got fired with a halfway decent record in Tampa Bay. But then we got Jeff Fisher here, 9 seasons with under 500, and you moving with the rest of the team to Los Angeles. I'm gonna have to reconsider what I said about Jeff Fisher. Maybe we get a little biased because he played with the Bears, but dude, I don't know. I'm going to reconsider what I said about Jeff.
9 years, huh?
9 years under 500.
So last winning team he played with was Tennessee then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. Oh, one more thing with the NFL, and I promise we'll go to the MLB. All these NFL players retiring under the age of 30, man. Last Tuesday, your team, New England Patriots, their defensive end, or is he a linebacker? Jared Mayo announced his retirement on Instagram, 29 years old. Marshawn Lynch hung up his cleats on the power line, showing that he's retiring at the age of 29. Calvin Johnson, the wide receiver for the Lions, says he's retiring. I don't think it's official yet, but he's saying he's retiring at the age of 30. Why do you think all these players, NFL players, are retiring early? First off, shouts out to Big E Lamba from Sport. I don't want to say the name wrong. I think it's Sports World. Let me see what it. I don't want to say it's wrong. He got a nice show after this show. I think it comes on around 4:30, and his show is not coming up. Sports World. He'll let me know. I can't remember, but shouts out to him. Thanks for joining in, Big E. But yeah, why do you Sports World Radio? That's what it is. I apologize for tearing up the name, but yeah, why do you think these players are retiring early?
Well, for one, they made a ton of money already. 2, they looking at all these concussions and whatever, these life-threatening injuries. They want to be able to walk away from this game and still do whatever they want to do in life, enjoy it, go skiing or do whatever it is that they want to do. They can still do it and not having to worry about working another day in their life. They played the sport X amount of years. Either they won championships or they not. I think now it's not even a big deal. You know, these guys coming into the league now, I think they're going to look at it that way and say, okay, I'm going to give myself. I think everybody's probably going to give themselves that one big payday. After that one big payday, then they're going to try to transition their way out of the league or whatever, just so they can, you know, they don't want to do it. That's scary. You know, the NFL not really trying to support them like they probably should. Like, I know they should, not probably, like I know they should. Well, after injuries or whatever, and, you know, these concussion guys walking funny, can't remember their names or what street they live on, and, you know. So yeah, that's scary. I would leave too, especially after you know, you got that money right and got a ring.
Right.
Because, you know, a lot of people like who's the corner just retired? Woodson.
Yeah, Charles
How
Woodson.
he stayed so long, you know, chasing rings, you know, yeah, you know, so no, but yeah, I think that's why they leaving.
Okay, I totally agree with you. First off, shouts out to everybody for the group from Sports World Radio. Appreciate you chiming in. I know their show will be on in about an hour, so I'll be chiming in on their show. But I totally agree with what you're saying. I think number one, they're making a whole hell of a lot of money than they did 20 years ago. So just like Marshawn Lynch, I heard that he hasn't touched his contract money. I've heard Gronkowski hasn't touched his contract money, so they learning early, dude. I ain't gonna spend all this money right now. I'm gonna save it up because when I retire, I'm gonna be set off real good. Number one. Number two, just like you said, they scared of CTE. I haven't watched Concussion yet, but I've heard a lot of stuff been shown in that movie where they got people scared. Individuals not even playing football scared, so I know the players are scared. And two, the players are a lot smarter. If you really notice, a lot of players when they retire, they become NFL analysts to all these major shows, ESPN, Football Network, or NFL.
Close to the game. They stand close to the game.
Right. So they're making their money outside of football. So those three things, I think, is the reason why NFL players are retiring like they're retiring. So kudos to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they said the lifespan of the NFL players is what, 3-4 years?
Right. Depends on position you play, right?
Yeah, anything past that is a blessing. So, you know, I think, like I said, I think a lot of players are making a lot of money and being a lot wiser. Sports World Radio said awesome movie. I gotta go see. You seen Concussion yet?
No, I haven't seen. I
heard. You know, some people say they like it, some people say they hate it. So I'm gonna have to check that out. He said it will change the way you look at football. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to see that movie. That's probably a little bit
why you got some people that hate it. You know?
Yeah, right. I think that's the reason why I like go to the show and go check it out, because I've heard mixed reviews about the show. Yeah. So, all right, man. Let's talk about MLB and your team. I know Big E from Sports World Radio. This is his team, the New York Yankees, man. Hey, bro. Did you hear what the COO, what's his name, Lonn Trost said about he don't want rich fans to be sitting next to poor fans?
And them who was bogus.
I guess, you know, they got a problem with StubHub because they got a long deal, a lucrative deal with Ticketmaster.
Right.
Well, he said Thursday. Let me see if I got it right here. What he said Thursday was straight bogus, man. He said the problem below market at a certain point is that if you buy a ticket in a very premium location and pay a substantial amount of money, it's not that we don't want that fan to sell it, but that fan is sitting there having paid a substantial amount of money for a ticket, and another fan picks up a ticket for $1.50 and sits there. It is frustrating to the purchaser of the full amount. Let me move on. Trost then added a comment that raised eyebrows of social media because it seemingly enlisted undertones. And quite frankly, he said, the fan may be someone who has never sat in a premium location, so that is frustrating for the existing fan base. What the hell? Number one, the first part. If I'm a a rich a rich Manhattan fan and I can't go to the game, what do? They send it to StubHub or whatever, so somebody could purchase that ticket. I don't know how StubHub works. I don't know if you get any kickback from some other person purchasing that ticket. But once it leaves your hands, I'm sure that individual don't care about who's sitting in that seat.
What happened to it? You know, you did what you was gonna do with it, so now it's out of my hand. I don't care if they take it, sit on that seat, and somebody go piss on it. You know, it's out of my hands. You know, I got my money for it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And then for the simple fact that punk gonna say, and then Big E from Sportsworld Radio, that's they got paid. Okay, I agree. So that's how it goes. I can see that. But he said the opinions of Lonn Trost is not shared by this Yankee fan. Okay, I understand. And I'm sure if y'all don't know, we both from Chicago. I'm a White Sox fan. He a Cubs fan, but he is also a Yankees fan, and I'm a Mets fan. So you know, we yin and yang on this in this piece right here. But as a Yankees fan, what do you agree with Lonn Trost?
Oh, absolutely not. You know, let me use some big words. I'm appalled and
right.
That he would even say something stupid and idiotic as that, you know. And you know, some fans, and these are the New York Yankees. They got fans all over the world. They got fans right there within a mile of that stadium that have never been to a Yankees game. That may be the only way they ever get into that Yankee Stadium, you know, and they get a chance to sit right there. Now, because I'm making under, you know, $50,000 a year, you know, I don't deserve to sit in these seats or whatever, because the guy that's sitting next to me, you know, is a billionaire, you know, multi-millionaire, and for what? You know, that don't make no sense.
Right.
It's just, baseball is baseball. You're a fan. I might know more about the sport than this guy do. He's sitting there and don't even know who playing first. You know?
Right. Totally agree. You got if you didn't know, that's the reason why we good together, because we hate, we like different teams and hate the other person's team. So that's the reason. And we've been together for 20 years. 27 years.
He's 27.
So we married, man. Basically, if you want to say that. But he just, you know, I'm sure the Yankees organization pulled him over to the side after that, like, dude, you know what you just did, right?
Right.
You gonna have to make this up. So I haven't heard him.
They call a shit storm for our PR department,
and I have not heard him come back to apologize what he said. But you know, that was just stupid. Number one, just like you said, I'm sitting next to a person. I don't know how much money he make. I don't know if he's homeless. You don't care. You sitting here watching the damn game, hoping your team win. And, if he's unruly, I can understand that. But
right,
come on, man, for real. How do you? My thing is to trust. You show me a poor fan. You show me a rich fan. How you can identify the rich fan from a poor fan? And then I still got one about you after that.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So, Sooner Gary said, I'm not huge on baseball, so I don't know who plays first for every team, but I know the major stars. And could tell you who plays for the Rangers for the most part? Okay, you out there and that's in. I got that. Big E said, remember, there are rich people who were poor once. I totally agree. I mean, just that comment he just made, man. Did you read what the hell you was gonna say before you said it? And did it? My thing, if it sounded right to you, we got a problem.
Exactly.
You know. Okay, but we're not gonna talk about the Yankees, but we're gonna talk about a disciple of the Yankees, Don Mattingly.
Oh my God.
You know, he what was the last year he was the manager for the LA Dodgers. Now he's at the Miami Marlins. Now he's trying to incorporate the no facial hair policy that he's used to with the Yankees and bring it to the Miami Marlins. What you think about that look, man? No pun intended.
No facial hair?
No facial hair policy. He's implementing it as of right now, immediately, not now, right now.
My thing is, what does it matter?
Okay, wait. Yankee fan, do you have a problem with the Yankees doing that?
Yeah, I have a problem with anybody that say I can't have a mustache or a beard, right. Unless you can guarantee that mustache or something is taking away so many points off my batting average, or gonna mess with my swing.
Right.
Leave my face alone. What the hell you talking about? I'm getting my strength from my facial hair.
Right.
Whatever, you know?
Right. What if I'm Samson, bro?
Right. Exactly. What does that have to do with the sport? Me playing the sport. You know, I'm not out there looking like Harden in Houston, but I mean, even if I was, so what? If I'm moving the guy over from first to second, you know, what do you care? You know, if I'm stealing 40 bases a year, what do you care? You know, now you cut my facial hair off. I'm constantly thinking about that every day. You know, my face look naked. I look like a pervert of some sort or whatever. Now my swing gone. Everything just jacked up because I can't have a beard. You know?
Man,
no, I don't get that bad. No means that's no.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. You know, I understand that's the Yankees lore. They've been having that for decades.
A decade, right?
Cool. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the Miami Marlins had that implemented 2011. They had it before, the Marlins. So I think they had it before when Ozzie Guillen, shouts out to Ozzie Guillen, White Sox manager. Anyway, when Ozzie Guillen came, that's when they took that out. So now he's bringing it back. What we got in the comments? M&M's. Show never does. There's no way I would shave my goatee. Totally agree, dude. I can't. Man, listen, man. My wife said she liked this. So if I'm going against my wife, I don't know. We talking about millions of dollars. She gonna have to understand.
Now that's the only reason. I'm sitting at home on my couch and I get a phone call from the Yankees or the Dodgers say we like you to come play with us or whatever, and we're gonna offer you X amount of millions of dollars, but you have to shave your face. Yeah, now, where the barbershop at? I'm gone. You know, I'm out.
Right.
You know,
I'm gonna have to live with it.
Exactly. So you know, yeah, that's the company policy. Just like I mean, you got to live with it. You know, so I don't agree with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Sports World Radio comment. They said Cincinnati had that policy. I don't remember Cincinnati had that policy. And I guess they said they even moved away from that. Sooner Gary said, huh?
Yeah, it has no bearing over the sport.
I guess they trying to say it's a team sport, so everybody should look. I don't know, man. I ain't gonna try to make no excuse for that bullshit.
No, don't do it.
Sooner Gary said I shaved for $400 million. Hell yeah, I shaved for $1 million. I ain't gonna trip, man. I shaved for $400 million over 12 years or whatever Bryce Harper is getting. For real. Yeah. No, okay. Let's move on. Keep it with baseball. Bryce Harper said he's worth $400 million.
No.
Damn it. I don't think nobody worth $100 million.
Right.
Let alone four. Alex Rodriguez was worth, what was he at? Signed for $225?
I think it was $275.
Dude, if the Washington Nationals pay this man $400 million for 12 years, how old is Bryce Harper?
You're not even that good. You're not even going to be that good at the end of that contract. You'll be garbage at the end of that contract, and I still got to pay you whatever the numbers break down to be another $50 million in your 11th and 12th season, and you can't even bunt.
Right. Exactly. I mean, if you haven't learned from Alex Rodriguez, and I like Pujols, but when they gave him that crazy money when he went to LA, you seen what I mean, I'm sure he's coming back, but for at least 3 of them years, he was ish.
Right.
So if I'm the Washington Nationals and I'm up and coming, I don't even know the betting lines of them winning the World Series this year. It's up there. They up there and they in the top 5, I believe. But still, dude, it's a team sport. I'm like, how am I gonna pay you $400 million and I still got people on my roster I got to pay and keep them on the team? Every time somebody get paid, that goes with any sport. That goes with back to NFL when quarterback for the Ravens.
For the
They
Ravens?
they just won the Super Bowl. They paid him $100 million. They had let go of Bolden, the wide receiver. That was his safety net during the season. They had to let him go. See, I could go Flacco. I appreciate that. Joe Flacco. When they won the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco, he is a good quarterback, but Bolden always catch any ball over his head. If it's close to him, he gonna catch it. So I'm paying him $100 million, but I gotta let my safety net go. That's why I got a problem with these $100 million contracts. It's just like that's when, like the NFL dude, we're gonna have to cut you, or we're gonna have to rework your contract because we made a mistake and thought you was worth $100 million.
Right.
So I'm reading the contract. Reading in the comments. Give me $1 million, I'll advertise for it and use the hell out of Gillette. For real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they don't know about these common working mans. We do a lot. Hey, let me tell you right now, for real, I'll catch bodies for a couple of $1 million. Just give me a graveyard to put these bodies in. I'll keep it moving. But yeah, bodies will be caught for a couple of $100 million. For $100 million, yeah. I can take out some people. Sunday Gary said, I'm sorry that hasn't happened. It estimated that that's what he would be worth in 2018 if the Nationals don't sign him to a longer deal. I don't give a damn if it's 2030. $400 million.
No.
And you know what? If you could tell, I'll pay you $400 million, you could tell me you be consistently at the peak of your
right. But see now, backtracking, this goes back to how the NFL do things. When I give you $400 million, 100 of it's guaranteed. Now after the 6th season, your numbers in the shot the hell. I can cut you. I don't have to pay you the other $300 million. Or whatever the number shakes out to be.
Okay, so Brandon, once again, like I asked you when we talked about NFL contracts earlier this episode, would you implement the NFL contract procedures in the MLB?
And I still stand by that because they're two different sports. But you just got to know it's just out of hand. Like we can go on forever about that. It's out of hand with this money or whatever. I don't know. I don't think no one's going to pay Bryce Harper or anybody $400 million. Mm-hmm. I think they looked at that A-Rod deal back then because you ain't seen nothing like that since with a position player now. The pitchers now they hovering around 160 now for 7 years. So I think that's high too. But you won't see that 275 no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I just think, you know what? Is that person that good that you want to risk your franchise for paying this one person all that money? Not in baseball. That's just me. Everybody should be on a 1-year deal anyways. That's from Sports World Radio.
I ain't mad at him.
All right, we're gonna end it in a little bit, but there's two more questions I'm gonna ask you. Number one, Barry Bonds says that he don't even care if he's in the Hall of Fame because he said God knows he a Hall of Famer. Do you think the PED players okay, I could go on this little rant. People think Barry Bonds did PEDs, but he never got busted. He never got caught. So you keeping him out of the Hall of Fame because you think, and don't get me wrong, I know Barry Bonds an asshole. He could have done PEDs. I got all that. But if I haven't got busted, how you gonna keep me out of the Hall of Fame because you think because I look like I had PEDs?
Right.
Hey, I appreciate number one, Biggie and Sports World Radio. I appreciate you guys chiming in on our show. I know you gotta get ready for your show. I'll be over there in a little bit. I'm just gonna finish off this, but I appreciate you guys chiming in on the show, man.
Yeah.
All right. So Barry Bonds, think he need to be in the Hall of Fame?
If you know what, when all that stuff came out, my whole thing was okay, performance enhancing drugs. I didn't see what actually the performance enhancing part of the game it could do, except make you bigger, stronger, whatever they saying, stronger, bigger and stronger. Baseball, a lot of baseball to me is timing, hand-eye coordination, and all that. Now, if the PEDs did all of that, then no, maybe he shouldn't, because if you don't feel that it's wrong, then you wouldn't hide it. It would be out in the open. You ain't, hey, yeah, this one I'm taking or this one I'm doing. You're not hiding it or whatever. You're not trying to cover up if you don't feel like it's wrong. Now, if you hide it, you feel like it's something wrong, then it must be wrong. If you think it's wrong, it's wrong.
Right.
So at the end, do I think he should be in there? Honestly, I don't know, because you got Barry Bonds, you got A-Rod, you got all these guys that was involved in that. Clemens, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the extent that I mean, they even had the Senate and Congress and all these people up involved in this stuff. To this day, I, as a baseball fan, still don't know. And I watched all of them. I still don't know.
Okay. I totally, it's hard to say. Now that the PEDs have been exposed, you don't know who done it, who didn't do it. You'll catch few, but you ain't catch all of them.
Right.
So right now, if you ask me, hell, there shouldn't be a Hall of Fame anymore, unless you're just gonna have a certain, unless you let people in that you think have PEDs, you should just shut the doors, because you don't know who use PEDs now. So
right, you don't know. You can't block off this decade with this decade, because now you're being unfair to the people who didn't do it. Like your Frank Thomas or whatever. Nah,
Right. So yeah, I got you. So last question before we close shop. It got to be between our two teams in the MLB. I just seen on the internet that Chicago Cubs have 4-1 odds to win the World Series. The only team that has single-digit numbers in the odds. Everybody else is like 10-1, 14-1. I think my beloved White Sox are 31. So this is just. I know it ain't gonna happen, but no, you ain't gonna. Listen to this question first.
Right.
I know you. Hey, as much as I hate the Chicago Cubs, they look good last year. When they picked up Joe Madden, I knew he was in trouble. Well, you guys got what's the vice president name or the president name from Boston?
Oh, Theo.
Theo, yeah. When Theo came over, I was like, oh man. When Joe Madden came over, I said, that's a lock right there. And it showed last year. You got a young team. Now you picking up players. I'm like, oh hell no. They looking like the Cleveland Cavaliers now. They picking up all these players and whatnot. With that being said, I know you Cubs, they gonna be in the postseason. They probably go deeper than what they did this year. But I heard this question pertaining to the White Sox and the Cubs. If both the White Sox and the Cubs make it to the World Series, and the Sox won in 5, would you rather them lose in the World Series or not be there at all? You want me to say it again?
Nah, I heard you.
Now, this was said on the radio. I heard that this morning on the way home.
The question was, if the Sox and Cubs made it to the World Series, would I
No. If the Sox and Cubs made it to the World Series and the Sox won in 5,
right?
Would you rather them be in the World Series or not even be there at all?
Because it's the Sox, I'd rather them not even be there at all.
That's a true Cubs fan right there. That's a true Cubs fan right there.
Not even be there at all.
That's what they were saying on the radio. They're like, dude, man, that's for the simple fact. And, I'm going to keep it real. We both live in Chicago. We've been here. We born and raised. I know the Sox is the second team. You know what I'm saying? And for the simple fact that the Cubs would lose to the Sox in the World Series, y'all could never live that down.
We devastate. It would.
y'all would have to leave.
But you know what? Go check it out. The quiet is kept.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even quiet. I think if that was to happen,
mm-hmm.
the White Sox will still be the second team.
You know what? I hear you, and you might be right, but we got bragging rights up the ass.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because y'all they holding on to the 2005, man. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
oh man, we hope,
what a handful of y'all, but and they wanted great or whatever. Like you said, yeah, that would be devastating. I wouldn't, I couldn't stomach that. You might talk me down,
You know what? I knew you. I was almost like, I'll say I was 99.9% sure you would answer like that because I know you're a diehard Cubs fan. And I know Cubs fan be like, oh hell no. Nah. I rather just miss.
I don't even want to be there, right? I don't even want to be there.
Right. All right, man. So we're gonna close shop on this show. 2 cent deposit on sports. We get with the sports. I want to thank everybody for chiming in on the show. At Leans, at Sooner Gary. You still on? We appreciate you chiming in. We on every Tuesday, 3 o'clock at this time. Well, every Tuesday. I can say every Tuesday. We'll add on as we go on through the year. Who else joined us? Sports World Radio. Both Big E. I can't remember the other gentleman's name. We appreciate you chiming in on the show. Who else chimed in?
Perhaps guys here.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys for chiming in. We're about to end the show. If you guys want to, I know you watch us live. You want to listen or watch us? We're on YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Get With It Sports 2. So it's Get With It Sports with the number 2. That's our channel on YouTube. Search it. And we'll be here same time next week. Well, I don't know, same time. We'll be here Tuesday next week.
Right.
You follow us on Twitter. It'll come up on Twitter. I'm at Get With It Sports. My partner here, Brandon, is at LEB412. Check out our Facebook page at Get With It Sports. Email us if you want to get in contact with us at getwithitsports2. That's the number 2 at gmail.com. And as always, this is Get With It Sports, place where you get your sports with a little swag. I'm Glass.
And I'm Brandon.
The best tag team tandem out here in sports talk. Be good, be safe, get with it. Peace. Later, bro.
Bye.